Hello and welcome to Australian Transformers Weekly. We are bringing you Transformers news from around the world and across Australia. This is episode 260. We are recording live on Friday, September 16th, 2022. We have managed to get 2 episodes out in the same month. Thank you very much. In this week's episode, we will be discussing a new cartoon series. Everyone knows that it's called Earthspark, but that's okay. There's plenty to talk about. Sorry, folks who don't have him. We will be talking about Velocitron Cosmos because it seems to be the topic of the week. And whenever isn't there a new black repaint to talk about? All of that and more is coming up in this week's episode after this. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Jason. Joining me this week, we have a blast from the past, back with a vengeance. So many things that I could say that I want to say about, like, return back from the dead kind of stuff. Mikey Siciliano, how are you doing, sir?
Hello, Jason. Yes, I'm doing very well, and I'm very glad to be back on this awesome show.
We are very, very happy to have you back. And we are back. It's only been 2 weeks since the last episode. That's well under our usual time frame lately. I think there was a period where we went a couple of months without an episode. I went overseas. It's kind of my fault, but anyway.
No, most things are.
Yeah, most things are my fault. That's quite correct. Hitler's march across Europe, my fault. Sorry.
I wasn't going to mention that, but war in Ukraine, your fault.
Yeah, I know. I looked. Zelensky's been on the phone to me yelling at me, but I can't do much about that either. This has gone well early, hasn't it? We've already had Nazis, now we've got Russians.
Let's just bring everything into it.
Excellent. I should mention that while we usually have a nice spread of hosts around Australia and spreading up and down the east coast and sometimes over to the west, this week you and I are both in Sydney, and we're about even though besides both being in Sydney, we're about an hour apart anyway. But that's fine. It just means if there's a storm, you're probably going to get it about an hour before I get it. But we'll see how we go.
Yes.
In fact, that was the thing. Brad was going to be on tonight, but I think he said that there's 20 millimeters of rain forecast for this evening around Barnawatha, and
that'll do it.
Yeah, and he doesn't. He said because he usually streams from the back shed, and he said that there's no soundproofing in the shed. So
yeah, that would be like all hell would break loose.
Yeah, we decided to save everyone the hassle of hearing the rain on the roof, and so we decided to go for 2 of us instead. Let's see. So what has been happening this week or this month? You know what? It's been a pretty quiet time for me since TF Nation. I actually don't have any acquisitions to talk about this week at the end of the show because I may have spent. Actually, I do. I was going to say I may have spent a little bit too much on acquisitions at TF Nation, but I do have stuff that I've acquired, but it's not here because it's in Melbourne. But we'll talk a little bit about that stuff anyway. What have you been up to there? What's been happening? Oh, you went and saw some football players this morning, didn't you?
I did. So hence why I'm wearing the old the bunny. So myself and fellow Transformers fan who I've corrupted and turned into a Souths fan, and you'd be surprised how many people I've done that to. So this is the 4th person I've.
You're like the Rabbitohs virus.
Yeah, I turn people and I turn them into Rabbitohs fans. And people who didn't even really know what the sport was and are now quite devout Souths fans, which is pretty cool.
I don't know what the sport is, but I still don't care. But it's okay.
Yeah, but you're a tough nut to crack, but we'll get there one day.
Yeah.
So fellow fan and now devout Souths fan, Clinton and I made it to Redfern, the holy place, to catch the Bunnies train and help out the Rabbitohs TV crew there. and we had a really good day. We
I nearly saw you at lunchtime, but I just ended up too busy with work, unfortunately.
you nearly saw us at lunchtime, and then you promptly avoided us. So we almost got there.
I waited until you were like literally about to turn into my street and just went,
Oh my
"Nah,
god, we
I'm too
were.
busy."
We were literally like one turn away from where you live, and you're just like, nah, go away. So
I can't. Do you know what? I decided that I was too busy with work and I couldn't really take some time to go shopping. And then I think when I looked up from my work, it was about 2:30. So
yeah, that does happen when you work from home.
It does.
So so we went and did that. Had a great day. Had some good food. And we did some shopping.
You found found some Transformers. We can talk
about.
Oh,
yes, of course we did. We went to the old East Gardens.
Yeah.
We got you some things, which I don't know if I'll spoil, so I'll let you talk about them later because they're for you, I guess. And Clinton, he found a Cosmos, and I found a Cosmos, and then Clinton bought it, and he's going to be selling it for no scalper prices. He's just wanting to bring it to the next collector's fair he has. And
so Clinton and I will actually be at CollectorCon this weekend.
Yeah.
By the time anyone listens to this episode, it will be too late. But if you're watching the live stream and if you're in Sydney, CollectorCon Campbelltown is on this Sunday, and I'll be there with some leftover J-Mart stock, and Clinton's also selling some figures as well. Clinton's usually got Marvel Legends, Star Wars, and some I think Palisades Muppets. So come on down,
lots of
check
Muppets.
us out and have a look.
Yeah. And if you're interested, there will be a Cosmos and a Clampdown there, and he will do you a great price, like pretty much. He's a good guy. So he just wanted to bring it out for fans who's going to be at CollectorCon this weekend, basically. So we went and did that. Yeah, had some nice food. And to be honest, it was a really good day. A long day because it was an early start. But look, really worth it. Some days, like I'm not an early riser, and I never will be. But some days it's good to break the old routine. And...
I'm aware that I've made you get up early on many occasions.
Yeah, and we will be. Unfortunately, I won't be at CollectorCon, but I will be at something that we're doing next week.
Yeah, that's right. So TCCA is at Oz Comic Con next week, and in fact, we should talk about that a little bit. We can talk about this 100%. Up front, actually, because we're not the only Transformers presence at Oz Comic Con next week.
Negative,
Hasbro is bringing Earthspark to Australia. It's only going to be the second outing of Earthspark figures in I think globally. There might be something at the Licensing and Brands Expo going on at the moment, but Hasbro is bringing Earthspark to Australia. They will have the new toy line there. I think it's due to come out later this year. We're not quite sure. The series itself starts streaming in November, but yeah, the figures will be there behind glass on Hasbro's stand, but we've had a word to Hasbro, and they've just sort of just gone, yeah, you can probably get them out from behind the glass. So we'll be looking for, hopefully, I mean, it's possible that this might be some of the first hands-on on the planet for some of these figures. So looking forward to checking them out.
It's pretty exciting, having it wouldn't be the first time that Hasbro has been around to the TCCA stall. I mean, last year, I think it was at Oz Comic Con, some Hasbro people came around. They're just like, hey, we're Hasbro. I'm like, oh, cool. And we had a long conversation with them. And
that was quite funny. It was like, hi, we're Hasbro.
Yeah, basically. No, what happened was, you know exactly what happened. I was just like, I just see this group of people come over, and I'm just like, oh, hey, you're Transformers fans? And it's like, oh, you can kind of say that.
I like that you say it in that voice as well.
Hey, you Transformers fans? That's pretty much how I talk to everyone of these things. But they're just like, yeah, kind of. I mean, we kind of, it's got kind of our division at Hasbro that we work at. I'm just like,
I remember you like frantically grabbing.
Yes, I'm just
without trying to actually. Yeah, you're like, Jason, come over
like
here.
Jason's having a D&M with this person, and it's like, Jason, there's people here that you want to talk to, and we ended up shutting everyone else and speaking to these people for hours. So
yeah, we pulled down the shutters on the booth. And,
we did.
We pulled the Hasbro people in, and they might be watching actually. We pulled the Hasbro people in and we said, look, honestly, the one figure that you've got to release is Cosmos. And and they went, okay, sure, we'll get on that, and sure, that's a complete lie. None of that happened. Anyway,
can I just say, in the comments, I can't actually see who's who. So I'm just
no, neither
saying
can I. I do want to just point out to people who are commenting on the stream in our Facebook group, you do need to follow the instructions in the post so that we can see your name. Otherwise, everyone comes up as Facebook user. However, the one comment that I will put up is someone saying Team Cosmos.
So hello to everyone that said hello.
Dude is hanging out here too.
Yeah, good toy. Hello to everyone that said hello. I actually know who one of those comments are that's targeted at me. So thank you so much.
It's great. You've been back on the show 10 minutes. You've already attracted negative comments.
5 minutes, and I've already got demons chasing me. So that's great. Thank you, Brett. Yes, I know. But luckily, everyone's coming to Comic-Con that day. So there we go. So no, hashtag Comic-Con over Zoo. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm not sure that that's a real hashtag, but you can try and make it trend.
That's a new hashtag. It'll be trending by the time this is finished. Thank you very much.
There we go. Chris says Team Cosmos was me. Chris has figured out the permission system. Thank you, Chris, and welcome onto the live comments. It's going to be fun. We're going to move swiftly on and get to the news. Straight into news.
Hasbro news.
That will take us into some news.
What news comes from by yonder?
We are here to talk about some Transformers, and we're going to do that. I'm going to bring in the screen share, and we're going to start talking about some news and some sightings. We are going to open up. We're going to open up with everyone's favorite / most hated retailer on the planet at the moment. We are talking about Kmart. There's a bit of stuff to talk about with Kmart. First of all, if you are looking for Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 collection, you will find that they are being restocked around the country. So if you go into your store and they don't have what you're looking for, don't fret. They are restocking. Unfortunately, they are restocking. Cosmos is still short packed. He's still 1 in 8. But we are seeing more and more people posting that they've successfully acquired him, and so on in the group. Like you said, you walked into a Kmart store and picked up a Cosmos today, so they are definitely out there. And
they are very much hidden. They don't put them front and center. They are, so if you see a large bunch of Velocitron Deluxes, don't fear. And if there's just blurs and blurs and blurs, just have a look. Have a look all around. Some people may still do that thing where they hide the figure for later and then they'll come back and buy it. I know there was an instance of someone taking a figure and putting it in the frozen food section, putting it in the fridge.
Look, I apologized for that. It was a slip of the mind.
So just keep a keen eye out there, because we only went to 2 stores today and we found pretty much everything we wanted. So
you're gonna have to comb your entire Kmart store, because you never know when you're going to find a surprise.
Cosmos. Yeah. Especially if you find that if there's just a person pushing their trolley down the aisle, there's a Cosmos in their trolley. Just say, hey, look, I'm sorry, but yoink. So
careful! Don't go out advocating taking things from people's trolleys unless their name is Karen. That's okay.
Yes, if they're a Karen, yeah. No, but you will find it. He's out there. He's hard to find because he's a UFO. They made it deliberate, hard to find because he's a UFO. There you go. That's why they did it.
Chris says, "Can someone explain to me why people buy from stores like Kmart that do the Lucky Dip model?" I think this is a good question. It's become the bane of many people's existence, ordering things online, especially in the last couple of years when we've had to sort of do a lot of online shopping and purchasing things online when we've been in lockdown and the like. It's a combination of factors in that Hasbro doesn't necessarily give the items in the crate unique values, and so some stores take it upon themselves to unpack the crates and stock the items individually in their inventory, and others don't. And so there's a combination of factors, right? Kmart needs to be bothered enough to do this, and let's be honest, Kmart can't be bothered doing this. They just want to get a crate of toys in, stick them on the shelves, and off they go. and Hasbro also needs to give them some additional information, is what we're told, in order to allow it. You do see stores like JB Hi-Fi where they have actually done it, and so. But of course they charge more money. So the question is to sort of, why do they buy from Kmart? Well, a lot of people buy from Kmart because it's their local store, but also a lot of people will buy from Kmart because it's cheaper. And
That's the cheapest.
Yeah, they are the cheapest. Their deluxes have gone up to $35, but they did hold that line at $30 and $32 for a really long time. Deluxe, look, the price of everything's been going up recently. Deluxe's RRP is now $40. Voyagers are meant to be $55 to $60, but they still seem to be holding at about $50 in some stores. But yeah, Kmart's held the deluxe prices down, and the Voyagers as well in a lot of cases. But those RRPs are higher than we're getting now, and so like there's going to come a point where they can't hold those prices down anymore, and they're going to jump again. But a lot of people will buy from Kmart because of price, and if it means that they have to go to multiple stores in order to find the product, they might do it as well. But I tend to think that my time, and if I'm parking, I don't drive, but like if I'm gonna pay for a bus fare to get there, that's also part of the cost of acquiring that figure. And so a lot of people will look at the price of a deluxe at say EB Games and just go, it's $45. I'm just going to wait for it to come to Kmart, and that's fine. But you could have bought that thing for $45 at EB Games and got it shipped to you, or picked it up in store, and you wouldn't have to go from shopping center to shopping center. You wouldn't have to waste your petrol, your petrol, your parking money, and most of all your time, because people don't really value their own time. And so, it's the amount of investment that you sink into getting this stuff. You could buy those figures at EB Games. I have this pet theory that I've been telling people, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I think Australian retail is stratifying into the specialty stores where you get things like JB Hi-Fi, EB Games, Zing, Pop Culture, and the like. And if you want something, you can get it from them. They will get it. They will get it as soon as it's released. We've seen JB Hi-Fi keeping a really good pace with retail releases the last few months. And if you want it from them, you're probably going to pay a little bit of a premium. But if you don't want to pay that premium, you can wait and you can get it at, so-called mass retail department stores, things like Kmart, Big W, Target, and Myer. But they might not get it, or if they get it, they might not. If they get it, it might not be the price that you want, or it might be scarce, or it might be hard to get. So it's really a case of you pays your money and you takes your choice.
It was weird. So I originally thought that Shatterglass Blaster was a Zing exclusive, but he ended up coming to to JB Hi-Fi, for $10 cheaper, which was unusual. And look, sometimes you win some, you lose some. I did get him at Zing for the because I again thought it was the exclusive. Where else are you going to get him? So these things,
$70 at Zing, wasn't he?
70s at Zing, 60 at EB now.
Yeah.
But Zing is usually a bit, they're a bit dearer, that place. So yeah, it's just luck of the draw with these things. And so sometimes it is worth waiting, and then sometimes you just miss out. Like Soundwave from Kmart was I can't even remember. I don't know if the Netflix Soundwave, if I actually ever saw one in Kmart. But that wasn't dealt with great. But yeah. So we've mentioned like Kmart has the the random assortment thing because there's some disconnect between their stock code and whatever Hasbro provides them, and so when the Netflix Soundwave, the most desirable Soundwave of the last few years, when that was released and on store shelves, you could order it online, but you might get Optimus Primal. Or it was either Optimus Primal or I think it was actually the Optimus Prime Earthrise re-release. So there was one. It was one or the other. But it was a 2-figure wave, and so you sort of had a 50-50 chance of getting the one that you wanted. We've actually seen a few people. We've seen a few people try to game the system on this. One of our friends ordered 5 Velocitron Deluxes from Kmart and was lucky enough to get one of everyone. Okay.
Whoever packed that order just went, all right, well, there's 5 things in here, so I'm going to pack it. But it very much relies on the human who's packing your order on that. So to Chris's question, Chris responded and said, I'd pay the extra to get what I want rather than buy online for an assorted random pick, and that's fine. And like we can definitely do that, but there's still some things where like Kmart gets the Velocitron line and it's exclusive, so you don't really get that choice with that. And so the only way to really change that is to let Kmart know that you don't like it, and let Hasbro know that you don't like it as well. However, I would say that Kmart is probably not really gearing up to change this anytime soon, because they've even gone to the trouble of adding the disclaimers to their website that says, "Hey, you're going to get a random selection here." So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not. No, yeah, I get why it happens, but it's just not great, you know.
Yeah.
You look at this thing, you're just like, okay, I want that one. It's just luck of the draw, and then you'll end up wanting a Cosmos, and you'll get 3 blurs or something, you know. So
yeah, you might
probably, you know.
So like while we're on Kmart, a couple of other things to talk about with Kmart and Transformers. Studio Series 86 Deluxe RC is turning up in Kmart stores. If you've been waiting for that one, very bizarrely, although her wave mates turned up at JB Hi-Fi last month, she did not. But good news, she's turning up.
Maybe she was outside of
now.
Autobot City.
Maybe she was stuck outside Autobot City when they closed the doors.
Couldn't get in, yeah.
Yeah. She didn't end up at JB Hi-Fi. I think she also ended up at EB and Zing. But yeah, you should be able to pick her up in Kmart stores.
Where I saw her,
she's starting to roll out.
I might have seen her. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen her recently. But is that possible or not?
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
I swear, I'm just like, that looks good, but I'm not collecting it.
Mark says JB is sexist.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just going to travel on from that one.
By the way, hi Kate, hi Brett.
Yeah, I do also want to point out that Kmart is having a sale at the moment. There is you can get Legacy Deluxes. So I've got the Velocitron page up at the moment. They don't count as the same thing, but Legacy Deluxes are currently $28 at Kmart. I think Voyages are down to $40 as well, and it's probably because these guys also have a sale at the moment. This is Big W. Big W's website has 20% off a lot of Transformers. So leaders, this is becoming a very common price point. Leaders have come down to sort of $74, $75, $76 a lot in the last couple of years. Leaders are down there. In fact, if you're after Kingdom leaders, Ultra Magnus and Beast Mode Megatron, they're down to $62 at the moment.
That's a good toy, and that's a good deal. And even the Ultra Magnus, that's an great Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, they're pretty great. So yeah, the Cyberverse Deluxes, which are always a bizarrely high price, they're down to $31. The Beast Wars Vintage Scorponok reissue, which a lot of people have been after that, down from his $80 price point down to $50, much more reasonable.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, much to see at Big W.
When it comes to the Beast Wars reissues, like it has paid to wait on these ones, because like you can get. I think I saw
they never sell out.
They don't sell out, and then you can get them on a really good clearance. Like I saw a Rat Trap for $9.
Oh, Rat Trap has gone down to $6 in some stores. Like,
there you go. Like,
it's ridiculous. Yeah,
you can probably pick up the whole wave for like $150 if you're clever enough and you go to the right store. So you have to
play the long game on them though.
Oh, it wasn't super long, but it was longer than picking it up straight away.
Rat Trap came out last year.
Oh, true. But don't buy your Wolfang now on this. I think I've even seen Wolfang on clear. Wolfang, is that his name?
I think so. Yeah.
The Wolf guy. He was on clearance already, and I'm just like, didn't he just come out? So that was a weird thing there. So when it comes to these reissues, I just say wait. I don't think you're gonna miss out.
Look, I think given the retail prices of things, like I've literally got a screen open in front of me that just says 20% off everything at Big W, right? Unless there's something that is, I don't know, like Cosmos, that's very rare and hard to get and very much in demand, like you may as well wait for a lot of these things. They are going to come down and they'll be on sale. But of course, what's the main thing that we all fight with? It's this fear of missing out, and so
FOMO.
Yeah, yeah. Like FOMO is going to get you, and you will buy these figures as soon as they're announced, as soon as they're released. You throw down pre-orders. That's the culture that we're building for this stuff. If you want this stuff, as soon as it's announced, you got to throw down a pre-order for it, and like that's fine. You know, it happens. Ultimately, if you pay the money for the figure and you get it, and you're happy with that, you know, who are we to tell you otherwise? But you know, if you play the slightly long game, you might end up finding that you'll get the toys at a cheaper price.
Yep.
Let's move on. We've been talking about prices at Big W and Kmart being on sale. Amazon usually price matches these things as well. Oh no, they haven't. Everything's still full price at Amazon, but that's okay. Give them a couple of days. They do usually pick these things up, and then they'll modify their prices.
Oh, that Inferno. Oh, waiting for him.
He's coming. I was going to say next month. Amazon says November, but October, November, whatever.
Okay, cool.
Let's start looking overseas. Some overseas releases. We've been talking about local releases and news, and we've been going for a little while. Let's go to the big news of the week, which is 2 new figures have hit New Zealand. Sorry, what? New Zealand?
New Zealand? What?
I say this with some amusement because I am in a New Zealand buy sell trade group, and it's just full of people just going, "That's probably not coming here. That's probably not coming here. We never get this. We never. Oh shit, we got 2 new figures."
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, we've been looking at rumored listings for Velocitron Wave 2 for some time now, and there's a bit of a surprise. There's quite a bit of a surprise. We've got 2 new figures. First one is called Shadow Strip. This is the surprising one because we'd seen listings that showed Velocitron Shadows, and we had assumed that was going to be Shadow Striker. Everyone went and pre-ordered figures going, "Oh, this is Shadow Striker. That's cool. I want a Shadow Striker." No, it's Shadow Strip. He's a black repaint of the Stunticon, the Legacy Stunticon drag strip mold, which is itself an excellent figure.
Superb. Great deluxe.
And so the existence of this figure brings up many questions. But first of all, let's start with just how good he looks, because he's got a stunning black and gold color scheme, and the highlights on the mold are blue. So where Dragstrip had shiny purple guns and the purple head and yellow face, he's got a blue head, red visor remains, and sort of a red orange face and shiny blue guns. Looks fantastic. Really, really, really good. I saw this, and to be perfectly honest, I wasn't really that into Shadow Strike. When I saw this, I went, "Yep, I'll have that." Yeah.
So Shadow Striker's the girl from.
I'm going to say Cyberverse, but she might have been from R&D. I think she's from Cyberverse.
Yeah, she's the one with the Frankenstein parts, right?
No, I'm not sure.
I think she is. I think people were really wanting that, and I can understand some disappointment if that is what this is. If that what that was supposed to be.
We're going to talk about Shadow Striker again tonight.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's news to me.
But it's going to be later. But yeah.
Yeah, but this is interesting because it's clearly just G2 drag strip, but now he's got a new name. So
yeah, it totally is. This does bring up the question: are they going to do G2 repaints of the Stunticons? It's been a question that's been hanging around ever since Commander Motormaster came out, and everyone was like, "Well, you've got to reuse this mold somehow to make some money for it. You've got a set of Stunticons, and where Stunticons go, G2 Stunticons tend to follow. So, is this going to be the first Stunticon repaint? Is Velocitron going to turn into a G2 Stunticon line, or is something else going to happen along the way? Like, they did say that this guy's from the G2 universe. Are all of the G2 Stunticons going to be Shadow something, or is it going to be ultimately a Shadow Menasor?
I wouldn't say so. I'd say, logically, what I would say is they called him Shadow because he's black. He's got a black color scheme, so that's they tend to like to have figures with black color schemes.
They're very good with the names, aren't they?
Yes, they're very original with those type of things. So it's unusual to me. It's because it's clearly just G2 drag strip. So unless they're doing this, and yes, like it has to be said they're going to do all the rest of them. And like we all know that when it comes to a figure these days, you've got the figure itself, Generation 2 appearance if they made one, or Shattered Glass now, because that's such a big thing. Like they could easily make a Shattered Glass set if they wanted to, and I would buy it. But to now, not only, I think if they just called this G2 drag strip, people would just be like, oh, I've already got the original set, I'm not going to get it. But now giving it a new name and possibly making these new characters are just like, some new Decepticons, okay? They look like the Stunticons, but they're in the G2 universe. They got a new name.
I do just need to point out, looking at the comments, Mark is saying it isn't a G2 repaint. It is G2 Universe Shadow Strip. It's not Shadow Striker. Shadow Striker is going to be a different release.
So this is Shadow Strip. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, I think they're doing something really clever here and giving them all new names, and maybe they don't really give them identities again. Like they used to have a little write up on the back of the box. That was so cool back in the day. They don't do that anymore, unfortunately.
No, but they've got those online. We're going to talk about one in the next story.
Okay, well, hopefully, if they invent a completely new identity for this figure as Shadow Strip, I think like you've pretty much doubled the amount of people who are going to buy this. You've got the G1 colors, and now you've got this G2 universe of completely new different characters that look like Menasor, but are possibly that seem to be their own thing.
Look, I think it's going to end up just being a G2 version of the Stunticons, but yeah.
But again, they've got their own names.
Yeah, we've got a photo on screen showing that this version of the drag strip mold can indeed sit on Menasor's arm. So he's got the same plug, layout for his 5mm ports on the underside, and he's got the same clip for splitting him in half. He is most certainly a repaint. It is actually funny that we've got two similar kind of looking cars in the same wave. We also have Crasher, who is the Mirage repaint. Now I'm pretty sure Crasher is female.
Yes, definitely.
The Mirage repaint and a GoBots reference at the same time. So
she is
pretty awesome. I'm now in for both of these repaints. Like previously, I was not particularly that interested, but the fact that it's a black drag strip instead of some other random car, black drag strip, and Crasher being a GoBots reference. There's some wild colors on here, the black and red, and the black and the red and the white on the vehicle mode, and the head design is pretty ace as well. Very, very happy with it.
Yeah, it's cool. It definitely evokes the GoBot, who is called Crasher, who is also pretty much she did turn into a Formula One style car, I'm pretty sure. So I think what they did was they just repainted the I could be wrong. They repainted the alternate head for Mirage, the more I think G1 looking one, instead of actually giving her new head. But at the same time of being a little bit disappointed, I think it actually really works, because it just looks like Crasher, because Crasher has the similar kind of Egyptian pharaoh or sphinx kind of look, designed head, or just like the same shape. So I think it's a really good, smart repaint. Give us more GoBots and
more GoBots, please. Yeah,
more GoBots. Yeah, like it's great. It's this legacy line is, and it's doing what it said it was going to do. It's providing characters from outside of the norm, which is what we want in our legacy line.
A little bit of car knowledge there. Mark can always be trusted to bring the car knowledge.
Of course.
Crasher was a Porsche 956 prototype sports racing car, as raced at the Le Mans 24 Hour.
Okay,
very nice,
cool.
We are going to move on from New Zealand. If we spend too much time there, we will become orcs, and we'll have to stay in Middle Earth.
And then get some Prussian chops.
Yes. Can I actually? I made a terrible joke in the group this week. Someone asked about whether Cosmos has been sighted in New Zealand. I said yes, he is, but in New Zealand he's Cosmos.
That is. Oh, dude, that's. Oh, I don't want to laugh too hard. But that's
and
really
yes,
funny.
sorry, the listener numbers in New Zealand have just
completely dropped.
Yes.
They've just no more.
My apologies. My apologies to
That's a
everyone in New
great
Zealand.
joke, man. Congratulations on that one. I
Thank
really
you.
approve of that one.
Thank you.
I
It's,
really
it's the best I've made in several years. But
yeah, or ever.
yeah. And you should know.
That's great.
Let's move on. I did mention that we were going to talk a little bit about the profiles and the bios. There is one more Velocitron figure to talk about, and it's the often rumored Hot Rod. Now, there's a lot of disappointed people as a result of this listing, but there's also a lot of people who are just like, well, it's not really too surprising. The Studio Series 86 Hot Rod Voyager, it does appear, is going to get a repaint and a re-release in the Velocitron line as a new Voyager figure. It does appear that he'll be carrying the toy colors of the original Hot Rod figure. The Hot Rod figure that did get released in Studio Series 86 was color was picked and graded and matched against an archival copy of the movie. So the toy is a little bit different. I'm going to say it's not Pink Hot Rod for everyone who wants Pink Hot Rod.
Why not? Why do we have to? What do we have to do?
Like, it might be Pink Hot Rod, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a more vivid red Hot Rod than we got.
I just don't get it. It's just such a simple repaint.
Possibly a darker maroon. Oh, believe me, the Hasbro crew know that there's desire for a Pink Hot Rod, so like they still might surprise us with this. But what's happened is that the description for the figure has made it out into some online forums and the like, and it says he's a G1 inspired design. It's G1 inspired design, and the toy inspired by the animated series, updated with a generation style design, features a red deco similar to the original 1986 release. Now, this could be another Shadow Striker. This might just be everyone setting themselves up for a disappointment, but yeah, it does seem like it seems likely to be the original Hot Rod toy colors. A lot of people are very fond of that original Hot Rod, so fair enough.
I swear I've seen a color of this, or maybe it was a Digibash. Like it just looked like the same Hot Rod, just with the not stickers, but maybe stickers. I don't know. You never know because they do stickers these days. Just the designs on the legs and the upper arms and the stickery details, but done in maybe tampographs.
I think that might be the Repro label set. I'm not sure.
Yeah, hey, who knows?
Yeah.
Let's all hope it's a Pink Hot Rod though.
Let's hold out hope that it could be a Pink Hot Rod, but we might be setting ourselves up for a Shadow Striker related
Shadow disappointment. Yeah.
Either way, it's going to be nice to get. It's going to be nice to get another run at that Hot Rod figure. It's one of the most popular figures that's come out in the last few years. It's been released. It's been released like 2 or 3 times already, and you still can't find one on store shelves. So it's definitely finding its way into people's collections.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Earthspark, and it's a bit of an unfortunate freeze frame on the Earthspark Optimus Prime here. So Nickelodeon? No, Paramount. Sorry, Nickelodeon is doing.
Oh, both.
Is it Nickelodeon? Yeah.
It is Nickelodeon and Paramount. Yeah.
Yeah. So they released a new video today showing off a lot of the bots from Earthspark. So we're going to flip through some of the stills and check them out. Optimus Prime has a very unsettling lip design, but also has a classic battle mask. See, now that I've said it, you can't unsee it. Right?
No, have you? Oh, it reminds me of. Remember, there was this.
It reminds me of the Netflix Megatron.
No, but there was even worse.
Not as bad.
There was this children's book in the 80s, and it was the G1 Optimus Prime looking like the toy, but like without a mask, and he looked. Yeah, I don't know what he looked like.
It was the racing one.
It was the racing one.
He was cheering.
He was cheering.
He looked so happy, like he was carefree Prime.
Oh, but it was so creepy. It just didn't fit. It didn't fit.
It was so
I
good, but
didn't
yeah,
like
like it looks kind of inspired by that.
Mm.
There's another shot showing him with the mouthpiece.
Interesting how it like
mask
goes up a
over.
bit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. There's a few things going on there. It's actually a very complicated design around the top of his head and where sort of the facial lines go, the mask,
big head.
and the like. Yeah. Big head Prime. Big head Prime turns into a big truck, semi
Short,
truck. You know,
kind of short nosed truck, kind of shorter than we used to.
kind of cartoony proportions.
Oh, very cartoony.
Yeah, very much. Let's not forget there's the scene that we've seen in the trailer of him smashing a Decepticon, wiping the mess on his chest, and then using the windscreen.
Using the
wipers to
That's
wipe it
so
out.
clever. That is insanely
it's
clever.
very
That
cute.
how that hasn't been done until now is a sin.
Yeah.
So
Look, we're all going to be annoyed when we all get the Earthspark figures and you can't
doesn't
move
do
the
it.
windscreen wiper. Anyway, so we got Optimus Prime, semi truck there. We know Prime is voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Great.
There's Thrash. Now, have you seen some of the promo videos that they released about 4 minutes of footage from the first episode, and I think Thrash is one of the bots that was sort of discovered in the chamber of the All-Star.
Yeah. So these two. So what we know and what we know from that 4 or 5 minutes, there's some kind of MacGuffin that these two little kids find when they stumble across a very. It's like this place that's like never been discovered before, but it seems very discoverable. But anyway,
it's never been discovered, but it's right underneath a highway.
It's like underneath a highway, like very.
Someone
easy to see.
had to pave that road.
Yeah. Anyway, just cartoon logic. So these kids.
Oh, wait, hang on. About cartoon logic. In Rescue Bots, do you watch Rescue Bots?
I've seen a lot of it. Yeah.
So Rescue Bots, they've had to find a way to introduce the dinosaur designs, and so Rescue Bots, the dinosaurs are simply on the other side of the island that no one thought to explore before. There's cartoon logic. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. with it.
That's more. You can get away with that more in Rescue Bots because that's
definitely
like,
can. Yeah.
You know. But anyway, so these kids, so the two main protagonists of the show go find this thing like this MacGuffin, and they touch it, and then that supposedly creates the first ever human bonded Transformers. So that's why that's essentially why the show's called Earthspark, because like Transformers are now being bonded and made with humans or something that we don't fully know because we haven't seen it.
Yeah, we're you know what? We're going to try and find out next weekend at the Hasbro Earthspark.
Yes, we can.
They'll probably just tell us to go away and watch the series in November. But
yeah, probably. But it'll be cool to see them at least. But that's from that clip. That's what I've deduced from it. So I think that's a cool concept. We haven't had that before. They really are
I think
trying different things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, look, I'm up for giving them a go for whatever new series they're coming out with, and
we give them all a go.
We do, don't we?
Yeah.
There does seem to be a lot of care and attention put into this, more than I expected there to be. Like the amount of detail that you can see in the background of these scenes, the transformations. In fact, the transformations are kind of interesting. There's very much a lot of this character jumps into the air and turns, and when they land, they're in their alt mode. But we'll see how that goes. So so Thrash turns into a motorcycle with a sidecar for his or her. In fact, sorry, I don't know whether Thrash is male or female.
I think that's the girl's partner.
Yeah. So Thrash has a sidecar for their human as well. Twitch turns into a drone, which is quite interesting
of the
from
times
a shifting perspective. Yeah,
very
much
of the times of alt mode, you know. So
can't ride the drone though, but you know we'll see.
No, but maybe it can pick him up.
Maybe it can pick him up and deliver him to an Amazon customer or something. But we'll see. Bumblebee is, of course, there, and Bumblebee is I like this. We've gone through all of this, and it's like drone, motorcycle, semi-truck. Bumblebee is very specifically called out as a yellow sports car.
Yeah, that's a supercar right there. So that's interesting.
Definitely. I mean, there's a definite supercar-esque design.
It's funny because
Bumblebee has that cocky smirk as well. Looks pretty good.
He transforms into your typical. It does look like the IDW design of one of which Bumblebee's had.
Yeah, you're right. It looks a little bit like Generations Goldfire. I think
That
is
one,
where you're
yes.
going.
And
Yeah.
then when it had a Bumblebee repaint or whatever, whoever came first, it does look like that, but then it does turn into a very sleek and I'm going to say Ferrari-esque, but Mark's going to jump in and say, well, actually, it's not that type of one, which I'm sorry, Mark, I failed you.
I think you might find that it's not specifically any kind of car.
No,
but
it's not
because
anything, but like,
Transformers
I'm sure it looks
implications
like
with
something specific, but it's cool, is what
It
I
is,
think.
it is pretty cool.
I'm kind of glad it's not just like your typical muscle car. It kind of looks like, at least from that angle, like a really cool, sleek, pointy sports car.
Yeah. This one I find interesting. So Wheeljack, the rally car, Wheeljack looks very much like his Transformers Prime design, doesn't he?
Very, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they based it off that and then just kind of earth sparked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, hands down, that Transformers Prime figure of Wheeljack is one of my very favorite Transformers figures ever. So if this is a hint that they might revisit some of those designs, maybe update them, bring them up a little bit with maybe some ankle tilts and stuff. But if this is a hint that they're going to sort of resurrect that design, my goodness, I'll be in for this figure. Like he just
looks like it.
Looks just like it. Yeah. And you know what? Looking at this still, I can see it here, but it was in the alt mode that it looked really, really much like it. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Wheeljack, rally car. In fact, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, he looks less like the Prime design there, but he really looks like it in the. Can
you go back to his vehicle mode?
Yeah.
No, I reckon if you look at that from the front, it's very similar actually. It's just more like they've blown up certain bits and shrunk bits, but it's very similar to that vehicle mode. It's got the point to it. I think they've picked the best Wheeljack design and go with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got this interesting forward sweeping spoiler as well over the. I mean, the question has to be asked: how the hell do you get into this car? But yeah,
you can ask that about lots of these toys and all these things. It's not really worth going into that.
Let's move on. Elita 1 turns into an all-terrain 4x4. Looks pretty cool. And so we've got both Elita 1 and RC in here. So there's Elita 1's head design looks very, very faithful there. And
great.
Body design can be all over the place. It can be whatever you want. RC is in here as well. And
damn, good.
RC is also turning into a muscle car.
Oh no
Very
way!
Classic like
my
style muscle car. Like that looks amazing.
I did not see that coming. I haven't seen this at all. I haven't seen
However,
RC at all.
I do want to point out it's gonna be another RC who's a shell former.
Oh, there's no way they could make that robot lid turn into that without it being just a mess of panels and stuff. Yeah,
but
look at that vehicle
cool does
mode.
That look?
That is insane. Like, I'm liking where they're going with this show.
I'm really liking some of these designs. Look really cool. And like, we're not even into the Decepticons yet, which I think the Decepticons start after this one. There we are. So there's Skull Cruncher. Skull Cruncher's alt mode is, and of course, a robot, a Croctobot.
An alligator con.
What a Croctobot.
Is that what it says? Croctobot?
Yeah, it says Croctobot at the bottom of the
screen. Should be an
yeah.
alligator con. They should have got that. They should have brought that reference back. But anyway,
actually, I wonder if that means that his toy is actually going to be a reuse of the Alicon. I don't know. I'm not sure if we've seen Skull Cruncher's toy. We'll find out next weekend.
Hopefully.
So Skull Cruncher, Swindle.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, right? Like Swindle. Not only is Swindle back. Swindle's got. His Jeep is sort of not. I don't know how to describe his color. It's sort of like I don't know. It's not cream, but
no, it's like
I'm trying to figure out a way to describe
food
it
yellow type thing.
Puke, but yes,
yeah, puke yellow, baby
yellow.
baby poo yellow, yeah,
baby poo yellow plus a purple highlight,
a hood, purple hood. Oh,
yeah,
look at that!
And look at that! It's Mark just says it's cack yellow.
Yeah.
Cack yellow, phlegm yellow. All right, we're gonna stop.
I love it. I love it when Swindle's included in a series because, like, one of my favorite incarnations of Swindle will always be Transformers Animated.
Animated, yeah,
But
absolutely.
can we please get the rest of the Stunticons and Bruticus? Just please, can we have a combiner? I miss combiners when they're done right.
One of our random commenters who hasn't signed into StreamYard says Bruticus confirmed.
But it's not
necessarily.
though. It's not because Swindle and Animated and wasn't there another character? Wasn't there another? I mean, the Constructicons in Animated didn't combine.
Yeah.
So,
Look, it's worth noting here as well that this is Swindle meeting up with Twitch. Is it Twitch? Is Twitch the drone? No, it's Thrash.
Well,
Thrash
and
from
you
Mobile.
know that's Swindle's personality that he's going to be selling some info from the Decepticons to the Autobots because he's
Absolutely.
he's a cheeky bugger, and that's why we love Swindle. He's my like second or third favorite Transformer of all time. So I'm glad they're reusing him.
Oh, look, I'm totally in for Swindle. Like the thing about this that really kills me is that when the toys were originally revealed, it looked like they sort of share the same sort of cheapo design as the Cyberverse toys. Like these are clearly not they're clearly not in the Legacy line, and Hasbro doesn't really have enough space for another top tier line. So like it feels like the toys are going to be like sort of maybe a little cut below, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
The show might prove popular enough that they bring some of these characters into Legacy as well. So
well,
we'll see.
like what they did with Cyberverse, they had all the kitty line, cheaper flippy doodah figures, and then they released the deluxe waves, which weren't perfect, but they were a lot better. And maybe we could have like a deluxe wave of Combaticons that form Bruticus and that are pretty decent. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Comment up on the screen says some of the Cyberverse stuff wasn't too bad. I do note that you've stopped short of saying it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's what I'm getting at is that like the best that you can say about this stuff is like it was all right. It was not.
The
it was not
deluxes
standard
released.
figures.
The deluxes were pretty good when they got to it.
Yeah,
But
so-
again,
Look,
it was
look,
a line.
I collected the Cyberverse deluxes, and like I would say 1/3 of them were really good, and the rest were kind of mediocre.
Yeah, but it was a line. The toy line was clearly aimed at the younger audience, so like, I'm not complaining. It's not really a line that I was yearning for.
No, it's
figures
it's
of,
true.
But
So. looking at the fact that they've put so much effort into the CG models and the rendering and the textures and stuff on this, it kind of hurts that they're going to be that kind of toy. But we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
I'd
see.
rather
They
a
may
better
not-
show. Like, I'd rather a really good show over some, decent toys. Like, I just want a really
absolutely.
good Transformers show.
Yeah.
Look at this.
There hasn't been a good Transformers show since Cyberverse.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. There hasn't. Actually, I was going to say there hasn't been a show since Cyberverse, but no, there was definitely a show on Netflix. But yeah.
And was
anyway.
yeah, there's been a few. So they've been stinkers. Really.
Soundwave also seems to me, there's a few shots of Soundwave here. Soundwave also seems kind of Transformers primey
He's
in a way.
very much so, yeah. But like more of a blend of lots of different versions of Soundwave, which I like.
I think so too. Yeah. There's very much a blend going on, and his alt mode is a stealth aircraft. That one's going to be an interesting one. But of course, stealthy. I don't know. Might we'll see. But yeah,
I think it's a good alt mode for Soundwave. A drone, a stealth bomber. I love the design. It's very bat-like. He's very. I hope he comes with some minions, some cassette icons.
we'll see.
But they won't be cassettes.
I wonder whether they might just end up being their own characters, but they might have some.
I
they
wouldn't
might-
be mad.
They might just be little drones or something. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't care.
Recon
Like,
drones.
yeah, they don't have to come out of him as long as they're represented and
Hasbro,
like they.
Hasbro, call us.
Yeah, call us. We have some. Shockingly, we have some ideas.
We have ideas.
So,
yeah,
we have ideas, and they're quite good, if I might say so myself.
I think they're the best ideas that you've had today.
It's the best ideas that I've come up with and I've thought of. So yes, but Soundwave, yeah, stealth bombers done right. This could be a great toy, but again, I'd rather a good-looking character in a show than a good toy. That's just my opinion. So.
Fair enough too. I think there's one more. There is one
Megatron.
more. He's the big boy. Megatron turns into an armored aircraft, and he looks fantastic in here. There's just this one shot at the end, and in the trailer, as he sort of stands up and the dust clears, you can see sort of his panels move into place and gives him a very broad shoulder spread. Looks fantastic. The figure, as we've seen, it looks so, but it does carry really nice proportions in the figure. So really looking forward to this. Like I'm more upbeat about this show than a lot of people are.
Oh no, I'm gonna watch it all. I'm gonna give it a fair go. I've not watched any of them. You know, I've given them all the time that they've needed. But very few do I rewatch and enjoy. So since like Cyberverse was pretty good as well, and then I happily rewatched that. But like the Prime and the animated era was when it was like peaked, and ever since then, I think we've slightly gone downhill.
I think so.
But Mark says with the Soundwave that he was a stealth bomber in Cybertron, and his one of his minions, so Laserbeak, was a bomb. And yes, that's a really good design of Soundwave that we haven't had really. Soundwave hasn't really done since the drone, I guess.
I find that stuff really puzzling, though. Right? It's like, you Laserbeak, you're a missile. All right, go blow this up. Oh, Laserbeak.
Yeah, but like maybe that's where they got the inspiration, because weren't like a group of Decepticons in the comics? Didn't they turn into bombs? And like that was their whole point in life is to turn into a bomb and basically bomb someone.
They were being punished for desertion.
Yeah, so that's probably where they got the idea from. Laserbeak's sacrifice, his heroic sacrifice for the Decepticons.
Maybe. Maybe. There are some thoughts saying Megatron looks like he could be an Osprey as well. And so, we'll see how
it's a cool design. It's definitely taking cues from animated Megatron when he turned into the big helicopter with the twin blades.
Yeah, I feel like there's... Like it's easy to say that I feel like there's a lot of animated DNA in here, because like we will look at this and we love animated and we'll see what we want to see. It remains to be seen just how much animated influence is on this, but like, you know, if there's nods and the like, we're definitely going to enjoy it. There is a new poster that came out this week as well, and Earthspark: A New Generation of Heroes, streaming November 11th. It'll probably be November 12th for us in Australia. That is a little under 2 months away. So we're recording on the 16th of September. So couple of months' time until there's going to be a new Transformers show. And like, you know, having looked at this live here, like, I reckon these designs are going to be pretty fun. I really hope that they have a bit of fun with the franchise. And like, I know from seeing some of the things in the previews, like some of it looks goofy, some of it looks funny, but you know, like, I have some confidence that they'll pitch it right, you know?
Yeah, look, people kicked up a fuss about animated. People kicked up a fuss about Prime, and they're like some of the most well-received Transformers series we have. You know, Transformers is a thing that in its name, it evolves, it transforms each time, right? So they're not all going to look like G1 like some people want. So they're just going to look, they're very much inspired by G1, but like they've got their own look each time, and you can't expect the same thing each time. It just doesn't make sense in a franchise that's called Transformers. It's the whole thing is about evolving and an evolution. So it's going to look different. People are going to like it. People are going to hate it. But I think everyone should give it a go before they make a final. You should always give things a go. You never like try not to go off what people say. Give things a go, because that's the only way you can really make a fair assessment of these things. So I really do. It may look a bit unusual, which it does. I can admit it's a different design as well, but I don't hate it, and I'm not going to hate it until I watch the whole thing and then decide that I do hate it.
Decide I hate it. Yeah,
then I do hate it, and then I'll tell everyone to not watch it,
mate.
But yeah,
you were doing so well for so long.
I know. But yeah,
you went to the dark side at the end of it.
But no, seriously, give it a go. Because at the end of the day, this I don't know. This seems like it's aimed towards fans. I think.
Look,
the characters.
so it's become known that one of the IDW artists, Nick Roche, has worked on designs for the show. I think some people may have overestimated his influence on it. I think they said that he designed the whole thing. I saw some people like, no, he's one of a team of people who worked on some of the designs. But yeah, and like if you blur your eyes and tilt your head and sort of squint at things, you can sort of just go, yeah, that's probably Nick Roche's design there, but we might never really know. But yeah, like, look, it's a particular style. Every series has its own stylistic look and feel, and they make particular choices. And part of it's down to their design, part of it's down to how they animate. And they're like, I think it's really good. It's been a while since we've actually seen Transformers that actually have like a presence instead of just sort of being like a cell shaded figure or something like this sort of harkens back to some of the Prime designs, and I'm ignoring War for Cybertron. But yeah, it's been a while since we've seen characters in an actual 3D textured environment. So yeah,
it's great. It's great that they don't make the character model so slavish to the toys, where you get a an Elita 1 or
Ultra Magnus with the 5mm port on his shoulder,
or the was it Elita 1 or one of the female Autobots that has literally the whole backpack on her back that like is bigger than she is, because they were just going so slavish to the toy design.
Look, that in the War for Cybertron is less of them being less of them being adhering to the toy design and more of them literally using the toy CAD models for their animation models. Like that's a choice that they made, but
they didn't tweak it. They didn't tweak any of them. They were all the toys.
Some of them were not the toys. Optimus Primal was apparently the red figure because the Kingdom Optimus Primal mold or the design was not finished. So like they're not all the toys that we think they are.
Actually, true. Because most of the Beast Wars characters didn't look much like their toys, so there's probably a reason for that. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, that's Earthspark. I think it's fair to say that we are pretty excited about this. We're gonna be checking it out in maybe a little under a week by the time anyone listens to this episode. So we'll look to have some video and some photos up on the TCGA page. We might publish some stuff on the podcast as well, and we'll share them far and wide on the socials and let you know what we think of them. What is up next? We've got one more Masterpiece bit of news to talk about this week. MPM 12N has been revealed and gone up for pre-order. This is the Bumblebee Optimus Prime Masterpiece model done in Nemesis colors.
I figured out what the N stands for. Nobody cares. Like, it's just it wasn't in the movie. It looks cool. Not a great design.
Actually,
lazy.
Have you handled MP12? MPM 12? A lot of people really like him. Like I know, like there's the whole thing about the monkey ears or the cat ears on the truck, but once people sort of got him in hand and they're like, oh, it's not so bad, and actually the figure's really cool. He's got a really nice amount of heft to him, and yeah, no, it's pretty nice. There's a decent difference between the Masterpiece version of the figure and the Leader class. Actually, I think he's a Voyager class figure.
Yeah, the Voyager one. Yeah.
So yeah, no, he's pretty nice. I do think there's a fair few people who are in for their Nemesis Primes, and they're definitely on board for this guy. And I mean, you said earlier that there's the normal. There's the normal version. There's the Shattered Glass version.
I guess you
have
to.
Version. You forgot the Nemesis version.
There's a guarantee. Anytime there's a Prime out, there's Nemesis Prime. Now we have some White Prime. Now we have some new additions. We have a Dead Prime, which is cropping up a lot more, and a Nemesis Prime. So
yeah.
I will admit he does look great. He does look great.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He does. There's more variants for Optimus Prime than there are for most characters, but
any character he's got the most. Yeah.
Anyway, that is the MPM 12N. A lot of people are very happy about this existing. It looks like they haven't recolored the Matrix. It is a prototype, so maybe they just used the real Matrix from the MPM 12. Looks pretty nice. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are very happy with this toy.
Yeah. But I hope they just just reduce the price a bit. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Let's move on. So those are the main stories. We've got a bit of stuff to talk about briefly. There is this killer body, which is ironic because it doesn't come with a body. A Megatron voice changing mask, and
What? That's a
reading-
mask?
Are you reading the rest of the headline and the run sheet? It's a high end. It's a Dark of the Moon Megatron voice changing mask and high end baby figurine.
Oh, what?
I think if I go on here, it must be in some of these photos. I don't know. I don't know what the baby figurine is. It's so weird.
Maybe.
Oh
maybe
my goodness! No, look at that. It can't. This
Oh,
must come
dear.
with it.
The hell is that?
It's like a Funko Pop version of the Dark of the Moon Megatron.
so bizarre.
You know, it's just there to keep the price of this thing up, right?
Yo,
Come on. Anyway,
so weird.
do you know what I think the best thing about this is how realistic the fabric on top of him looks.
I know, but
Like the rest of it clearly looks like a render, but then it looks anyway. So yeah, there we go. He's a 16 centimeter tall. Oh my god. Oh my
why
god.
do we need? Why is that a thing?
No, because like I've just looked at this and I've looked at this and I'm like, yeah, I'll have that.
Oh, okay. Oh, we've sold Jason. Doesn't take much. What do we got there?
16 centimeter tall baby Megatron. Like it'll be my first movie Megatron.
And it'll be your first baby, so you can say you've got a child now.
Yes.
Oh, other than Andy.
And whoever that is, it's the size of a real baby as well. Let's go back to the main. Oh my god, there's plenty of photos.
Oh
of
god,
baby
I
Megatron.
love how just
Like-
it just sits. What is that display version of the head? It just looks so awkward.
It looks like
doesn't look-
there's. Yeah, that's all right. There's actual chains on the baby.
Oh, you need to chain up your baby sometimes. That's fair.
Yeah. Like, it's for those awkward times.
For those awkward moments, we need to chain up a baby.
So this is a wearable helmet.
But it's got a neck.
I assume you can sort of like clip the thing. It's probably just hollow plastic. It's probably quite useful for a cosplay actually. But it's a wearable
Yeah.
helmet. It is a voice changing helmet as well. So you too can be the snarky Megatron from Universal Studios who shit talks all of the
how
people
cool
on
is
the
that
ride.
guy? The Optimus is just
He's
like
fantastic.
if I would go there one day and then Optimus is there, I wouldn't even get a thing. But you see Megatron, you just go like fists up to him, and he will fight you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like,
No, he'll
he's
give you as
so
good as he
cool.
gets.
And the guy, I know they get different guys each time, but you ask anything about pop culture, he knows it. They know it. It's such a cool thing. It's just like if I could get that guy at my birthday party, I'd get
Oh
him.
man,
That'd be so cool.
the number of videos that go online of people getting into not
Just
not real
abused by him.
altercations, just abused by Megatron. Like
Absolutely,
you could do that with this. This is your way. This is your way into a job at Universal Studios. All you have to do is buy a killer body helmet, which is probably going to be hundreds of dollars. I have no idea what any of this says, but there's a Decepticon thing, there's a hand thing, and there's a mouth thing. But I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, look, I could point Google Translate at it. I'm going to.
This should be fun.
Let's try live Google Translate while we're on the podcast and see how it goes. Aim at text. What does it say? Oh, right. It says Chinese and English voice control.
Oh, so it's bilingual. It's like
Yeah.
MP44.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
And
'cause
someone just said it says swappable between English and Chinese voice dialogue. So yeah, maybe, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
Man,
yeah,
that's going to be expensive.
It probably is. Let's scroll back up to the top and say we have no concrete information on price, release date, or if the items will be available outside the Chinese market, which you just know that if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
It was announced by Hasbro China on their Taobao website, so that's cool. I'm not going to click on a Taobao link live because I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see how we go.
Best leave it.
Yeah. Let's go and let's move on to what's the next one? Next one is a line of figures that I had given up on. There's Super 7. Super 7 figures. I'm not big on these things. These figures end up costing like $35 each these days. But this is, I think, the fifth wave of figures, and they've got some really notable stuff in there. It's first of all, like the number of figures. In fact, you know what? I don't think this is actually wave 5 or wave 6. Sorry, the caption says. I don't think this is all of Wave 6. I'm pretty sure a lot of these figures have already been released. Like I can see Alphatron, I can see Optimus Prime there. I'm pretty sure that the Wave 6 ones must be the sort of the newest ones on the list. So we're looking at probably Ultra Magnus, Wreck-Gar, Grimlock. And most notably here, there is a Unicron prototype figure coming in here. And this would be the first time there's ever been a figure released that looks like the proposed G1 Unicron toy, which never got released. And everyone's been very distracted by the Unicron, but I do want to point out that there's a Quintesson next to him as well. Also, I would say a notable release for Super 7 to do that kind of thing. But also,
well, clever.
Yeah, I do want to point out as well that Unicron's got a fucking gun.
Yeah, but apparently I was listening to something on this. He was intended to come with a gun in the toy. And the gun apparently transformed into a stand that you could stand Unicron on.
I think, I mean, like, you know where the gun's going to go if you stand him up. But like the how big?
No, I mean in planet mode. In planet mode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah. I mean, it was good for the joke still. But how big was that gun? Be like the barrel of the gun must be like the size of Australia.
Oh, it'd be
massive.
It looks bizarre. He does look bizarre. I've never pictured Unicron with a gun. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So I just want to know, Craig said Devastator came out, didn't he? I think this is actually a full wave. Like it says collect all Autobots and Decepticons. Like I know there's figures in here that have been out for a while in here. So I think what they've done is they've added wave 6 onto this chart. So the new stuff is probably the first stuff because like we know Unicron's new on the Decepticon and lineup and the Quintessons. I think there might be 4, maybe 5 or 6 characters that are new here. But yeah, I mean everyone's focus is on the Unicron. And there's the Quintesson. There's Wreck-Gar and Ultra Magnus up there as well. But yeah,
Quintesson's a good choice for this.
Yeah, I think that's true. It's a good way to get a sort of an accurate Quintesson. The shit of it is that they're so tiny.
I don't mind the Sharkticon either because
Yeah, that's a good point. The Sharkticon's also a good scale to sort of go with other sets as well. But the thing is, like, how many of these are you really going to buy at like 35, possibly more each?
I'm going to buy a Unicron, and that's where I'm going to stop.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm probably going to buy a Unicron. I've got one figure around here on my desk. I bought the Christmas Optimus Prime. His gun is a candy cane, and he has a Santa hat. Like,
how is that the size?
Yeah. This is the size. Although Unicron is a 6-inch figure, so he'll be a little bit larger and more expensive.
Right.
But yeah, why would you not buy Christmas Optimus Prime? I mean,
there's no reason not to.
Exactly right. So yeah, like I have bought a reaction figure before, despite saying that I don't really see the point in them. So
you're a hypocrite. We all know it.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone, knock yourself out. Everyone's going to buy that Unicron, and it's going to be the next Cosmos. Everyone's going to go into
guaranteed
the comic store.
You will never
find
find
Unicron. Him. Yeah, we will see. We'll see how we go. Mark says is Christmas Prime minty flavored. Can't say for sure.
Go on, then give him a lick.
Not gonna find out.
Okay.
Like. Nice try getting me to try and lick Optimus Prime live on YouTube. Like, yeah, how many lists do you want me to get added to in one podcast? We already had the Nazis earlier. Now we're going to lick robots and not going to happen.
We'll save that for the Patreon.
Yes, Craig says that we're calling hard to find figures. That figure is so Cosmos. Oh, maybe. We'll see how we go.
Like that's so Raven, but that's so Cosmos.
Yes, sorry. All right, so that's the new Super 7 Ultimates. In fact, sorry, I've been blathering on about this, but it literally says behind it: Sharkticon, Unicron, Ultra Magnus, Cyclonus, Quintesson, and Wreck-Gar are the new figures. The US prices for them are $20 each for the regular figures, $24 US for the Unicron prototype. So he'll probably end up paying about $45 here for him. So fair enough. But
Cool.
it also does hint that they're really not very big, and they don't have very much articulation. But you kind of didn't expect them to, did you?
No, nor do I care.
Yeah.
So I just want a cool looking big fat Unicron.
Absolutely.
That
Let's
holds
move
a
on.
giant gun.
Yes. Well, I mean, like it's a tiny gun now, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Let's move on. We do have a brief look at a leak that came out as we were preparing the show today. There's a lot of product codes and dumped information for new Transformers listings in the Legacy line and Studio Series lines here. Craig Moore says big fat Unicrons. And
I did laugh at that. That's good on you, Craig.
Yeah.
I like that.
So new Transformers listings, massive list of new figures that have been found. Some we've seen before, some we haven't. I've made a list of some things that I found in the list that I thought were compelling and notable. You also noted a couple earlier. Do you want to go first?
Yes, let's be experienced up here for a second. Leaked.
It's all right. I can go and we can just talk about them if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Because otherwise you have to bring it up and look at it on your screen. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
So 86 Brawn is the big one. So there's going to be a new Brawn figure in the Studio Series 86 line. He's going to be deluxe scaled. We've seen lots of updates to the mini bots in the last couple of years, spread across multiple lines, and so like new Brawn, going to be pretty happy with him. And of course, where Brawn goes, so goes Outback as well. Wouldn't be surprised if they sort of shove Outback into Legacy, perhaps, because I don't think he fits in the movie line because he wasn't in the movie. So 86 Brawn Deluxe, 86 Frenzy as a core to go with the Blue Rumble. So. Do you know what my favourite thing about this might be? I would laugh if they make Frenzy blue as well.
Yes.
Whatever. Just re-release Rumble and go, it's Frenzy now.
Let's not get into that, but yeah.
No,
we all know where that goes.
That destroys friendships. That argument
destroys worlds.
Yeah, it does. So 86 Brawn, 86 Frenzy. We did know about 86 Ratchet getting 86 Voyager Ratchet. Boggles the mind as to why they bothered to release the core Ratchet, but they did. Moving into Legacy, I'm not going to scroll down the listings, but still, there's a couple of notable things in Legacy. One is this listing here. It's called a Robo Wild Rider, and I'm wondering if this might be. I don't know what happens when I click on things on TFW. It comes up. Goodness me. Legacy Robo Wild Rider. It makes me wonder if this might be another one of those Stunticon.
It might be Robo Rider.
Yeah. So it does seem like there's a separate listing for Wild Rider under a different product code. So Robo Wild Rider is going to be something else, we think. We do have Legacy listings for Shadow Striker and Strong Arm, and this time it says Shadow Striker. It doesn't say Shadow S. It's fine. Now, Craig has brought up the question of is this the one that we know is wrong? No. Shadow Striker was assumed to be a Velocitron thing named Shadow S, which we all assumed was a truncation of Shadow Striker, but it was Shadow Strip. So no, this listing actually says yes, there's definitely going to be a Shadow Striker come out now. And there's also going to be I don't know why I keep scrolling that down. There's also going to be a Strong Arm, which that's cool. I think that makes them the first bots from RID 2017 to make it into the Legacy line, unless there's other things that we haven't sort of tweaked to there. But yep, Craig says Strong Arm is very exciting. I think so too.
Strong Arm, yeah. So Strong Arm's ROD 2017, and then Shadow Striker is Cyberverse.
Oh yeah, Shadow Striker's Cyberverse, isn't she? Yes, that's right.
So that's the first. Is she the first from Cyberverse then? Maybe, possibly.
Possibly, unless there's other things that are coming in under Cyberverse that we've assumed are other lines, but I haven't seen anything obvious. There is one here called Scraphook. No one really knows what that is. So
Scraphook.
yeah, maybe Scraphook is not classed as like a core or a deluxe or a Voyager or a leader. So it makes me think that Scraphook might be a store exclusive of some kind.
Scraphook. Well,
no one
immediately
really
I think
knows.
it's a 2-pack of Scrapper and Hook. So
Oh, that would start us down the line of a new Constructicons combined.
it would. So that's I immediately thought Devastator there. So
Yeah,
interesting.
we are getting two leaders that are probably going to be repaints of each other. The Transformers Prime Skyquake and Dreadwing, the two brothers.
Oh yeah, there'll be repaints.
They'll definitely be repaints, but hopefully they'll be a good mold, especially if they are going to release them so close together. Look, there's a lot of love especially for Dreadwing out of the Transformers Prime fans. So really looking forward to seeing what they do with that.
It'd be interesting to see how they G1ify them, because just like they did the Bulkhead. So how far they'll G1ify them,
Yeah.
much
Mark says Scraphook might be G2 Breakdown. So maybe we're looking at two G2 Stunticons in this upcoming
Yeah,
list.
that's great. That's a very good thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Couple more things. There's a Beachcomber while we're talking about Minibot updates. There is a Bombshell in there. We did think that we'd get more. We did think we'd get more Insecticons.
You have to once you get that.
I think there's
beautiful
already
kickback.
a Shrapnel rumored as well. Interestingly, there's a legacy Dirge in this list. There's a lot of people who missed out on Earthrise, Dirge, and Ramjet, and there's a lot of hope that's going to mean that Dirge and Ramjet are going to be re-released under Legacy, because people really want to complete their Earthrise Seekers. I do know that the Earthrise 2-pack was mooted for a reissue this year, and it didn't meet its minimum order quantity requirement, so it didn't come out for a reissue. Maybe this is sort of a case of Hasbro going, yeah, look, we know that there's desire out there for these figures, so we're going to re-release them. The other option is that these are not the Earthrise figures at all. They've just got a brand new Armada Seeker mold. They could well be repaints of that mold. Who knows? Otherwise,
Yeah, true.
We'll find out in the fullness.
Oh, I know. Now that I think about that, yes, it's gonna be the Armada Starscream mold, 100%. Yeah.
Well, so this is the thing. Dirge doesn't really fit with that, but Ramjet does, because there was
Isn't
a
there a
Ramjet.
Dirge? I swear there's a Dirge as well. I think he's got
maybe
like a Mohawk thing, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there is. I don't think all 3 cone heads, but I think at least 2 of the cone heads are made from the.
Well, I know there's a Ramjet, and Ramjet has been rumored, but is not in this list that's come out today.
Dirge is the blue one, yes? Yeah, he's the blue one.
Yeah.
Yes, there definitely is a Armada Dirge, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, feel free to correct me, anyone. But I think there is a Ramjet and a Dirge that come from that Armada Starscream mold.
I think you're right. I don't know. Maybe I can see someone's made a custom Armada Dirge, but I can't. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Someone in the comments will tell us. There is also the last thing I want to pull out. Oh, no, there's 2 last things I want to pull out. There's potentially a mistyped of detritus, however you pronounce it, who is presumably a desert camo version of Hound, who we haven't seen an Earth mode Hound. We've seen the Siege Hound from a few years ago, and that was reused as Hotshot, but never got any other repaints, I think. So maybe they'll bring that back. Maybe they'll do an Earth style Hound. So it could be a hint that we might see an Earth style Hound soon. And there's also a Legacy Deluxe DevCon coming as well. That one's interesting because DevCon is commonly a Scourge repaint, but Scourge is a Voyager in the Studio Series line. So this is going to be something new.
Maybe a new mold would be nice for DevCon, because he deserves it. He's such a cool character. Mark has given us a TF Wiki link to Armada Dirge, so I'm assuming that means there's a character called Dirge.
So he has, but also if you look at the file name, it says Thrust.
It says Brown Thrust.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, We'll leave that to people to research for themselves and see how we go. There's a couple more stories that we're going to talk about very quickly. I was very happy that Brad put this in the run sheet for us to discuss this evening, because coins are something that's right up my alley, and very few others. So this product popped up on Zavvi. There's a couple of Transformers commemorative coin medallion things. I reckon they look cool. I like coins. I like pins. I like badges.
Missed opportunity for 2 golden discs.
Oh, there's already plenty of golden discs.
Yeah, but like metal golden discs would be awesome.
Yeah, I also probably wouldn't buy those, but yeah,
I would.
But I have ordered these guys. I think it was $45 plus a few dollars shipping from Zavvi. So why wouldn't you? I've shown the other coins that I have on the podcast before. Yeah, very very neat, very nice, very cool. I like them. There's More Than Meets the Eye with the Autobot symbol and Autobots Roll Out, and More Than Meets the Eye with the Decepticon symbol and Decepticons Attack. Not sure what's on the back side of the.
You'd think they'd say Robots in Disguise somewhere. Maybe they say it on the back.
I don't know. No one really seems to want to show the back of the coins. Maybe there isn't.
They're hiding something.
They are. Yeah, they're hiding something.
What are they hiding?
You are being deceived.
We are being deceived.
Well, look, I'll find out in a few weeks when these turn up.
Is it just? Are they saying that's one side and that's the other side? You know what I mean?
No, because there's very clearly 2 coins in the pack.
Ah, okay, right.
Yeah. I mean, that would be really annoying if they were 2 identical coins.
It would be.
It might, but it also means you could just.
They haven't proven that that's not the fact.
It's true. It's true. So anyway, those coins came up. I saw this get shared. I saw this got shared around in the a community that we're both in, and people just roundly bagged, going, "What are these for? Who wants these?" And I was like, I like them. I'll buy them.
I like this weird
very
stuff.
embarrassing. Yeah. I like this. I like this.
It's cool. Not for me, but it's cool that there's people that like it.
That's right. Moving on. Last story. Very, very spurious link here. Transformers Rise of the Beasts. It appears that there's been a new toy line discovered in some product listings called Flex Changes. Now, no one really knows what this is, but we do know that there is a new product line under the Hasbro's Avengers line called Bend and Flex. And so people are thinking that maybe this indicates that they're going to have some bendy and flexy Transformers coming in the Rise of the Beast line. Hasbro has said that the Rise of the Beast line is going to explore different types of play modes and interactions with the toys. So, like,
cool.
We'll see.
I mean, why not?
We've got Flex Changes Cheetor and Flex Changes Nightbird.
Okay, so you got 2 beast formers. Interesting. I mean, a Cheetor would literally be turning a head around and putting them in a dog position or like a all-force position.
I mean, we always joke about how the worst Transformers to transform, you basically just knock them over, but maybe that's literally what you do with these.
I'm gonna say they're not gonna be like mind-blowing to transform.
No, I don't think they'll be mind-blowing either. It's worth noting, if it is something like Bend and Flex, it's got a 4+ on the on the thing, so it's ages 4 and above. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, good. That is it. That's it for news. We are running a little bit long, but that's okay. And
they thought we had nothing to talk about tonight. Huh.
I know.
We proved them wrong.
I know. We only managed to mention Cosmos 5 times as well. We probably could work another Cosmos into that. As a matter of fact, I can later on. Let's go to new acquisitions, and I say that because I don't have any, but I believe you do have some. So I'm gonna put you up. I'm gonna put you up. Nope, that's me. I'm gonna put you up.
I'm gonna put you up, so I immediately put myself up. So yeah, I don't have a toy today, but I do have from King's Comics. Oh God, can you see it? Shattered Glass. Yeah, I'll just tell you. Shattered Glass 2, Volume 1. So yes, I'm a huge fan, and apparently not too many people are, of the Shadowglass toys. I think it's a concept that I've grown up loving ever since it came out in BotCon, and the comics are okay, but they're the only media that's attached to these things, so of course I'm going to get them. So I'm not a huge comic book guy, but these are cool, and I really like I really wish I could show you the art cover, because the cover A variants are homages to famous Transformers comics, and
Let me see.
yeah,
If
I just
let
like
me
it.
see if I can bring it up.
Yeah, why not? Instead of me just showing, because lighting situation here, maybe I have to redo it for next time. But yeah, so Shadowglass is really cool. I love the toys, and the greatest thing about the Shadowglass range. So that's issue 1. No,
That's issue 2.
issue 2. Yeah, so Shadowglass 2.
I'll
issue
try
1.
again.
No, all good. But yeah. So basically, the best thing about Shadowglass is any new toy that comes out can be turned into a Shadowglass character, and I don't feel like they've fully taken advantage of that yet. I feel like it's been a very limited line. I think they've only really so far done one character to a comic book.
I think I got it.
Yeah. So this is in homage. I don't know exactly which comic, but it is an homage to a earlier Transformers comic. They've been doing some really good ones. Like, one of my favorite ones is it's the one with Shadowglass Blur, and he's got all the shell casings in him, and he's got the gun up like this, and it's homage to a very graphic Generation 2 comic cover.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like them. They're just cool to look at. They're interesting reads. The toys are just cool toys done up in silly colors. Sometimes, like, the color scheme evokes the enemy of that character. Sometimes it's just
something else. Yeah.
Sometimes something else. Sometimes it's just a lighter hue than what was normally on the normal character. So yeah, that's all I got this week, was just the first issue of that. Keen to read that. I've got to finish the last issue of the first volume 1. But yeah, big fan of Shadowglass. I hope they continue to do more characters. And yeah, I already think that the Shadowglass Ultra Magnus is already winning my figure of the year for official Transformers. So
he starts from a good place. So the Shadowglass Ultra Magnus serves double duty, right? Like, he's a Delta Magnus if you don't want to collect Shadowglass. And you can swap the head out. He's got the zombie head from Shadowglass Ultra Magnus, and he's got a very, very plain G1 Ultra Magnus head in Delta Magnus colors. The only problem, if you want to do that, is that you then have to contend with the purple Autobot logo. But you can deal with it.
Yeah, just a rep label or whatever sticker you've got of choice. And the best thing is, it's your choice, whichever character it is. And if you want both, then you just have to buy both. And it's not like it's not clogging their shelves of being a different character. It's just options, and that's what I love about it.
That's right.
I have no connection to Delta Magnus, but I do really like the design of Shadowglass Magnus, and that's actually, so this is his corresponding comic, so that's him there in the middle. So that's nice. I'm assuming this is going to be a spotlight on Shadowglass Ultra Magnus. So that, every comic that's come in relation to a character has been the spotlight on that character toy that's come out. So yeah.
I don't have any acquisitions to. Oh, wait! I said I did, don't I? So I have an acquisition, but it isn't here. I'm gonna just bring up the website for this stuff, and I'll bring this up actually to talk about it for a couple of reasons. The main reason, which is, and it's being really slow to load. Probably because we're in Australia there. So the Royal Mail Transformers stamps. Now, I was lucky enough to sit in the audience at TF Nation as these were being launched. There's a ton of products. So I've managed to get some of these shipped over. I shipped some of the I shipped over one of the framed Geikley, I don't know how to pronounce that print, and these ingots. The ingots are limited to I think I'm surprised they're still for sale actually, but the ingots are 5,000. I'm sure they said 500 of these when they told us about them at TF Nation, and I rushed out to buy them because I thought they were going to be very, very limited.
That's how they get you.
Yep, that's all right. That's how they go. There's lots of options in the Royal Mail stamp collections now. Given the sad events that have happened over in the UK, the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, these Transformers stamps have the interesting honour of being the last stamps released with Her Majesty's image on them.
There you go.
Now, it's unclear whether there's going to be future stamps released with that might have been in the pipeline, or if the Royal Mail is going to go back and redo all of the stamps yet to come with King Charles on the stamps. Now, it's hasn't really been made clear what's going to happen there. So that.
I don't think they really care at this point of time, really.
Oh no, no. Many people care. Many people.
No, not the people. I'm saying the Royals probably aren't. It's not high on their to-do list.
Oh no. So the Royal Mail is just the company, but they have to produce stamps either way. So there'll definitely be new stamps coming out soon. Actually, I was absolutely staggered to realize this, but let me at least bring up some of the stamps so that there's at least something interesting to look at on the screen there. I was very surprised to find that stamps actually expire. So apparently after January 2023, stamps bearing the Queen's silhouette will no longer be accepted in the UK, and that means that there's actually about 4 months that these stamps are valid for. And if you were going out and buying stamps, like, you would have to buy new stamps, or you can probably take them back to the post office and trade them in for new ones. So yeah, like, it makes me wonder whether they might reissue these stamps with King Charles's silhouette on them in place of the Queen. In which case, we have to buy them all over again.
Queen or a Charles variant, huh?
Yeah, it could be Queen or a Charles. Worth noting as well, the stamps all feature artwork by Marvel's Andrew Wildman, artist on the comics in the 80s. Absolutely fantastic art. So I've got some of these, shipped them to my dad's place in Melbourne. I don't really know why I did that instead of shipping them to my place in Sydney. So, like, I can't get them until I go visit Dad in Melbourne. So I'll have to go do that. Coming to see you, Dad. I'm coming to see my stamps.
Philatelist? Is that the right thing? Philatelist or something? That stamp collector?
I'm actually just enjoying hearing you struggle with that. So I'm just.
What is it?
Sure.
What is it? Do you know what it is?
So stamp collecting is philatelics. Philatelism or
Philatelism.
It sounds terrible. It sounds.
It's a weird word.
Sounds like we're talking about things that happen in dark and dingy clubs. But yeah,
I like Jean's comment. Megatron to replace the Queen's stamp because he was the Queen in Beast Wars. Thanks, Inferno. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, it was
my Queen. Yes,
I would expect Starscream to replace the Queen if anything. Shane does point out they don't have any choice in the UK. They'll do it as part of protocol, and honestly, the people will want or demand that. He's quite right. Like, people are already asking the question, like, when do these stamps expire? How long can we use them for, and things like that. And like, it's only a week since the Queen's passing, and people have already gone, yep, they expire in January, etc. So yeah. That is so. I've got some of the things. I gotta say, I'm a bit unhappy about the way that the Royal Mail order went. I put a couple of orders in. They've shipped them in 5 separate orders, and they all are untracked. I shouldn't be surprised that it's come from the Royal Mail and it's untracked, but, like, I also kind of am surprised that they've sent something internationally untracked. The weird thing is, 2 of the parcels turned up with tracking numbers on them, and so I've been in touch with the Royal Mail. I'm like, hey, clearly there are tracking numbers for these parcels. Could you give me the tracking numbers so that I can track them? And they went, oh, you'll have to ask Parcel Force. I'm like, no, like I bought these things from you. You can give me the tracking numbers. So I don't know. What I'm happy about is that the limited stuff has arrived. It's all the regular release stuff that's still to come. So like I can get Transformers stamps pretty easily if they don't come through.
I just this week had a package lost in the mail. So yes, I hope this doesn't happen to you.
Craig says, ironically, the Royal Post didn't put enough stamps on them. Nope, they put them in them. But yes. He says Royal Mail also has industrial action going on. Comics in the UK are tagged as getting possibly delayed. It's interesting. So there is definitely industrial action going on, but this stuff shipped out at the end of August. So they should have handled it to Parcel Force, and Parcel Force should be delivering it. I just don't know what's happened to 3 out of my 5 parcels. Like I said, the good stuff, the important stuff, the limited edition stuff, that's arrived. So that's okay.
Excellent.
So, yeah. Oh my goodness. We're not done. We're not done yet. There's still club news to talk about. Very, very. We'll breeze through. We'll breeze through the club news. We don't usually have club news to talk about, but we're gonna do club news today because we have finally launched new membership options for the year. The club membership runs to financial years, but we're often a little bit late in sorting out the items that are included in the member pack. If you are watching this stream it doesn't really matter where you're watching it, but Transformers Collectors Club Australia is a registered club in Victoria. We operate non for profit. I don't think we're actually registered as non-profit, but let's just say we don't make any money. And we do have a member pack every year. You can sign up for membership to the club. We'll sign you up to our newsletters. We'll help you out with collecting some figures and the like. And for your $10 memberships, you'll receive some stuff. You get a bumper sticker, which has a nice pithy commentary on the price of petrol for 2022. We were quite amused at that idea. Big thank you to Ash Whaling, sometimes member of the podcast crew. Ash designs the bumper sticker and our first fridge magnet, showing what your shopping list might look like if you're interested in Transformers, robots that transform, Transformers, and maybe 2-minute noodles, because you probably can't afford much more after buying all those Transformers.
Nice.
That's going to come through, and you will be able to stick that on your fridge in front of all of the bills that you can't pay because you have too many Transformers. And we've got the latest. I can't believe that we've been doing this for long enough that we're up to card 15 and 16. We've been doing two exclusive collector cards every year. I have to say, these cards have gotten fairly exclusive. People have asked us if they can get previous year's cards, and the answer is pretty much no, because we don't have them. We don't have them, and it's too expensive to do a limited run of them. So if you want the member cards, you've got to sign up for membership that year. This year's characters are Springer and Cyclonus, and there's some fantastic artwork on those cards. It's been done by TCCA member Brad Pickersgill. So thank you very much, Brad, for the artwork for those cards, and we hope that you're all looking forward to. We hope that you're looking forward to getting those. There is also a promotion. I did say I was going to mention Cosmos one more time, and we are running a membership drive in September. We've put up some desirable products. So we want you to become a member of the club this September. If you join in September, you do stand a chance to win a prize. So up for grabs, we've got 3 figures that will be up for grabs no matter how many members that we get. And they are Kingdom Red Alert, never released in Australia, Origin Bumblebee, never released in Australia, and Velocitron Cosmos.
Rarely released in Australia.
Yes. Hard to get across Australia. So by joining the club, for your $10 membership, you do stand a chance of winning one of those 3, I'm going to say fairly desirable prizes, but there we go.
Damn desirable.
If we get to 100 members, we've got a Combiner Wars Devastator.
That's
that
pretty
will
cool.
be added into the prize pool. So if we get to 100 members, there will be 4 prizes that will be drawn and going out. Craig Moore's asked, does this count for people re-upping? It certainly does. If you
Yeah,
become
yeah.
a member of the club, everyone who was a member last year is no longer a member of the club. So yes, you do have to sign up for membership and to renew your membership. Everyone who signs up for membership in September goes into the draw for this. And if we get to 200 members, there is an Earthrise Ramjet and Dirge 2-pack. If we get to 200
Whoa.
members in 1 month, it will be a massive undertaking. And I gotta say, I feel sorry for Simon, who has to post all of these member packs out. But we did say if we get to 200 members, we will put Earthrise Ramjet and Dirge up.
Let's do it.
They are rarer than Cosmos. We already talked about the desire
Hen's
for those
teeth.
things to be reissued. Yeah, hen's teeth, hard to get. You know what? They're not actually that hard to get. It just depends how deep your wallet runs.
Oh,
But
some
yeah,
of these prices, man. Some of these prices.
so yeah, look, very attractive prizes. I think we've given you a good prospects to shell out your $10. You get access to a lot of other stuff. Being a member of TCCA. I mean, a lot of stuff like, you know, you get cool bumper stickers and the like. And like I said, we will help you out with some hard to get figures as well.
Mark, if I purchase 100 memberships, can I have the Ramjet 2-pack?
You know what? If you were going to buy 100 memberships, that's going to be $1,000. You can get the Ramjet Dirge 2-pack
Yes,
for about
yes, Mark.
$300. You know what? Sure, Mark. If you want to buy 100 memberships. No, unfortunately, I have to say, if you buy 100 memberships, it won't push us over the 200 mark yet. We're not at the 100 mark yet. If you buy 100 memberships, we won't get to 200 yet, and you still might not get it in the draw. I would say you'd have like a 50-50 chance at that point. If
It might not
are
hit. It might not hit the
100.
100. It might not hit the 100 mark, but there will be 100 marks.
That's good. That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, so TCCA club membership is now available. If you are listening to the podcast internationally, it is intended for Australians. The club's activities are very geared towards Australia. So, like, sorry, but we would prefer you were in Australia to sign up. Please, if you enjoy what we do, if you enjoy the podcast, if you enjoy coming to meet us at Oz Comic Con and Supernova, hopefully they will next week. We'll see if we put on a good show. Please do consider supporting the club. We do use the funds, and we do put the funds back into what we do to reach out to and support the local collecting community. So we think for $10 we provide pretty good value.
I'd say so.
And so that is finally going to be it. We have run very long, but thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for watching along with the live record. Thank you for commenting along with things. You can find out more about these stories and more linked in the show notes. You can find the podcast's very own website at transformersweekly.podbean.com. You can subscribe in your podcatcher of choice. You'll find Mikey and I hanging out in Transformers Collectors Club Australia on Facebook. As I mentioned, we are a registered club in Victoria. We're run by volunteers donating their time, effort, energy, and money to make life in Australia collecting Transformers better for everyone. You can find out more information about the benefits of membership in the Facebook group, and you can find out how to join and show support for what we do at transformerscca.com. That is it. That is all from us. We will be back. We will be back for more with more Transformers news soon. Next weekend is Oz Comic Con. I would say we're probably not going to be. We're going to be out at Sydney Olympic Park setting up the TCCA stand next Friday. So we are probably not going to come back and do a podcast after that. But we will possibly not next weekend. But maybe the week after. We'll see how we go for another episode in a couple of weeks' time.
Cool.
Do we have anything to add before we go? I think we're done.
No, I think we're done. I hope I did a good job.
Marvelous.
Thank you guys. Thanks you guys for having me back. I really enjoyed myself, and I can't wait to I guess have. Although I love being one-on-one with Jason. Having a more packed podcast next time. Yeah, but thanks everyone for sticking around for just the two of us, and And
You and I.
and yeah, thanks for sticking strong, guys. Everyone in the comments, and yeah, hope you have a good week.
Yeah, thanks very much, everyone. We'll be back with more Transformers news in the fullness of time.